I want you to repeat this after me. God did not heal me to harden me. God did not heal me to harden me. He made me safe enough to feel again and strong enough to lead. This is Blue Velvet. I'll be interviewing and having conversations with others who have soft strength, tender authority, and a gentle presence with depth. Not fragile, not loud, but felt. Tune in to the first episode coming this January 2026. Welcome to Blue Velvet. Hey, welcome to another episode of Blue Velvet. This is episode number 3, and I'm so excited you guys are tuning in. I pray that the intro video blesses you, kind of give you an overview of what we're talking about, what this is about. Please share this with your followers. Text us about 5 or 6 people to let them know that Simene, the student teacher, is on, and I have an amazing guest today, and so I'm really, really excited. I hope you guys tuned in and caught episode number 2. It airs every Friday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so definitely go and check that out. And so today is just going to be one of those powerful ones where I have asked God to align me with people in this season. For those of you who followed me for any length of time since I've been on social media, you know we used to do Speak Life. We used to do that every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it was live. And I started off with my family, with my friends, people who knew Simene, not the student teacher and not me speaking and not me ministering, but they knew me as a woman, me as a little girl, me as a niece. I had my mom on, me as a daughter. And so I had all of these people that knew me that came on and spoke life, right? Death and life and the power of the tongue. We eat the fruit thereof, right? If we don't like our harvest, we got to definitely change our seed. And that starts with not just money, but it starts also with the words out of our mouths. And they would come on, they would speak life. We would have these authentic, transparent conversations. And I probably did this with probably over 200 amazing men and women, and then we kind of paused and shifted. And in December, not long ago, a couple weeks ago, I got the download of Blue Velvet. And how many of you know that success likes speed? Success likes speed. I heard a guy that I follow in business named Nehemiah Davis say that success likes speed. And so I made sure I took that, I ran with it, I got everything up. I did my first 2 episodes, and then I reached out to an amazing woman today that's going to be on with me and said, hey, I found her on Forbes Black. I was going back through some of the communities and some of the groups I was on. I took a pause from social media. I still have my Instagram open and my LinkedIn open, but I took a pause from Facebook. And when I got ready to come back, I said, who can I bring on in this first season of Blue Velvet that's going to add value? And I found this amazing woman. I'm going to read her bio to you, and then I'm going to bring her up because we are talking about soft conversations, having soft conversations and hard truths, right? Sometimes it's not what you say. Sometimes it's how you say it. Sometimes it's absolutely not what you say, but it's how you say it. And so I'm going to read her bio and I'm going to bring her up. And for any of those of you that are out and say, hey, I have some strong truths that I want to share. I have a message. I can speak life to those who may be listening or those that will watch this today, tomorrow, or years to come. Please send me an email and let me know, hey, Simene, I want to be a guest on Blue Velvet. And I won't tell you that I will say yes to everybody, but I will definitely respond back to you and let you know, hey, yeah, this is something that we can definitely do together, right? I believe that influence is costly. And when God gives you a platform, whether it's 1, 2, 15,000, 15 million people watching you, that you absolutely have a responsibility, right? And so I want to make sure that I'm a good steward over the influence that he has given me in the seasons that he has given it to me. And so I'm going to read our amazing guest bio, and then I'm going to bring her up, and we're going to get right into our conversation today. I know it's going to be good. I know it's going to be powerful. I know it's God-led, and I'm just so excited about it. So here we go. Miss Rachelle Sawyer-Cobb is a visionary founder and CEO of I Can Do. It's a remarkable women empowerment organization and brand. And when she comes out, and I'll say this for you guys now. So a lot of you know that I'm in the educational space, right? That I've done a lot with education, taught for 20 years, now doing stuff outside the classroom. And of course, I go back into school to do professional development, K through 12, and then university. And I do assemblies and social emotional learning for young people, right? But one of the things that I kind of struggled and wrestled with is staying in the educational space, because professionally and academically, I know, right? I know how to do it. But translating and sliding over to empowering other men and women, because that's the space now God is saying, I need you to be in. And so to connect with other people who are already doing that, and I've done it on a smaller scale, but to connect with other people who are really doing it, it's like, Lord, thank you, because I believe he gives you models. I believe he gives you patterns that you can follow yourself out of, not become them, but take away the blueprint and take away the things that they share, their best practices, and learn how they do it, and then do it in the way that God has given it to you. And so I'm excited that she does women empowerment for organizations and for brands, with a deep-rooted passion for encouraging, inspiring, and empowering women to live their true purpose. Not a purpose we made up, not one we got off social media, not one we pulled out the closet, not one we want to hide behind, but our true purpose. Rachelle has embraced her role as a passionpreneur. Her journey began in 2017 when she recognized the need for a small mentoring program for young women, driven by her desire to support the next generation. Come on, somebody say adopt a school and pray for it. Somebody say adopt a school and pray for it. You know, we are all about the next generation, right? If we don't go back and get our next generation, if we don't raise them and rear them up in the field of ammunition, the world will do it. And we see the things that are happening now. So after hosting a successful vision party for a handful of young ladies, Rachelle realized that her calling extended far beyond a single age group. She embarked on a soul-searching exploration of her own life seasons, gaining clarity on the universal need to inspire and uplift women and girls in all aspects of their lives. Guided by her favorite Bible scripture, Philippians 4:13. Come on, somebody, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Rachelle's vision grew into something greater, birthing the empowering brand known as I Can Do. On August 1st, 2020, I Can Do was officially launched, presenting a product line that includes apparel, accessories, and cosmetics. The core motto is, I can do all things purpose for me. I can do me. I love that. It encapsulates I Can Do's passion mission to inspire women to confidently embrace their true purpose. With a focus on fostering confidence, boldness, and truth, I Can Do empowers women to overcome great obstacles with strength and resilience. The brand's offerings delicately address the desire for inner growth while enhancing outer appearance. I love all of that. Grounded in core values of truth, honesty, positivity, community, and passion, I Can Do aspires to touch, empower, inspire, and motivate women through its presence, daily inspirational posts, and a range of transformative products. In 2021, significant milestones were achieved, including the formation of the I Can Do Book Club, the creation of the I Can Do Scholarship Program, the successful launch of I Can Do Lip Gloss, and come on, lips are popping, the inaugural I Can Do Women's Empowerment Conference, and the introduction of the I Can Do Girl Collection. Additionally, I Can Do began providing regular assistance to women's shelters within the Los Angeles, donating essential products to uplift and support women in need. Looking ahead, I Can Do remains committed to the development and advancement of its mentoring program, eager to make an even greater impact. Although currently a small organization and brand, the vision for I Can Do is vast and boundless. And there's a scripture, Rachelle, that comes to mind when it says that this small nation will become a mighty army. I have to look up the exact scripture for you, but that's what reminds me, like, don't despise the days of small beginnings, right? When we good stewards over few, he will make us ruler over much. And that's for all of you that are watching. It's like, you know, I love the fact that we can track, that she's been able to track her journey. And I pray that as I'm reading her bio, I pray that as I'm sharing her accolades and things that she has done, because I think sometimes as women, especially Black women, that we will kind of shy away from sharing all the good things we do. No, God has been good to us. God, this is a testimony of what you do when you submit your life, you commit your life, and then you do the work to do the things you say you want to do. And so I'm excited to be able to share this in fullness today. And although it's currently a small organization today, it won't stay that way. The I Can Do Women Empowerment brand has much more in store as it continues to grow and bring forth positive change in the lives of women everywhere. I'm in North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina to be exact. And she's in Los Angeles. She's in LA, Los Angeles. So the power of social media, the power of connecting, the power of reaching out to people, the power of God connecting you at the right time is what brought all of this together today. And so I'm excited to introduce to some. For those of you who follow me, you may be familiar with Rachelle, not Rochelle. Sorry, we done had a whole conversation about that. Rachelle. Some of you may be familiar with her and some of you may not be familiar with her. And so get ready. I say have your notepads out, have your ears open, have your heart attentive to what the Lord will use to say to her today. And so without further ado, I want to bring on Miss Rachelle Sawyer-Cobb to Blue Velvet Podcast. How you doing?
I am blessed, and that intro was the best I've ever had.
I'm so excited. I'm so happy that you were pleased with it. I'm so happy that you said yes. And as I was going, because sometimes people say people got a certain amount of attention span to pay attention or they're gonna log up. But it's God, it's been too good. Like when we share what we have done, it's a testimony and it speaks. And I don't want to shortchange you for saying yes to me, to not read over your bio. And so it is an honor. Again, it's a pleasure that you are here. So again, thank you so much for saying yes to being part of this podcast today.
I'm excited. And I thank you for reaching out, because I do consider it an honor and a blessing that you reach out. And I just want to tell you, your light is shining. Even before we went on, I wanted to tell you that, but your light is shining. And my prayer is always that God puts people in my path that are in alignment with my purpose walk. And so, of course, I said yes, because I felt it. You know when you know.
Yes.
And so I felt it in my spirit that this was a great opportunity to connect with someone like-minded as myself. So thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Thank you for sharing that, because you never know how people see you. You never know what people see.
Yeah.
So that even found me even more. Thank you so much. Like, thank you so much. So, I read your bio, and one of the things I want to just hit on your bio real quick, and I know we kind of so if you ever come on, for those that's listening, we have a script, but we don't really have a script, right? We have the script that God's going to give us. And so whichever way he takes us is what we kind of do. And so, Rachelle, I love what you say. Your favorite Bible scripture is Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you've ever done that you felt like, God, if you don't help me, and I know I can, if you don't help me and strengthen me, I can't do this.
Yes. And I'm going to tell you that, and I've shared this story before about how I dropped out of college after freshman year. I went to college right out of high school. I dropped out after freshman year. I was just like in this lost space, not, knowing what to do, where to go. And up until recently, the past couple of years, when I started the, kind of healing journey, I realized what it was. It was like I left the nest. And so it was that transition that brought about that fear in me, right? So I was out of college for a few years, started back part-time, taking a couple classes here and there. And I got married. I had my son. We bought a house, got married. And then I decided to start back school while my son was in elementary. And I'm like, I work full time. I'm a wife. I'm a mom. How am I going to do this? And I'm like, I got to do it. Because I have to, show this example for my son. And it was Philippians 4:13 that got me through and I'm telling you, it was challenging because, like I said, I worked full time. So I had to go to class at night from 5 to 10. From 10 to maybe 1 in the morning, I'm doing papers, homework, all the things, right? But it's like I had to get this done. But it was that And I remember graduation day, I just started crying. I woke up that morning, I started crying, and I'm like, how did I survive this? And I did it. It was like 3.5 years it took me to finish up. I'm like, how did I? And it took me back to that scripture. And just any challenge that I'm faced with, that's my go-to.
Yeah.
That's my go-to. That is the most empowering scripture in the Bible for me.
I love that. I love that so much. And think about all of either the young people that's going to watch this, because, I told you I'm in the educational space. So there could be students watching this, it could be young moms who are watching this. It could be, first year college graduates who, or first year, freshmen in college. It's like, man, I don't think I can. But Rachelle's giving you an example to say, listen, you can do all things through Christ. So don't give up. Don't we can't do it, because she's a living example. And not only did she go and she finished, but you've seen all the other things that she has been able to do throughout the years because of that perseverance, and knowing that no matter what I go through, no matter what healing journey I'm on, that God will always strengthen me. So so for sharing that. I love how you outline. Of course, when you write a bio, it goes like in chronological order, but I love this progression of how it went from one thing to the next thing to the next thing to the next thing, but it was all aligned the whole time. Can share with people about the power of alignment and the power of timing when God is giving you something to do?
Ooh, let me tell you. So again, the vision was given to me in 2017, but I didn't launch I Can Do until 2020 during the pandemic, right? And I feel that I think that I was maybe fighting against it. I don't know. And so I think in 2020, when God allowed things to be shut down, he got me silent. He got me by myself to let me know, hey, do it. This is it. This is it. And you already have the tools that you need. You know what I mean? It was like I was overthinking it.
Yep.
You already have the tools that you need. And when I tell you that, I think it was April that I said, okay, I'm going to do it. And I have a mentor. Of course, she kind of pushed me, like, you just do it. Just don't overthink it. But it was April. And it only took me from April to August to launch it.
Wow.
And when I tell you that God aligned me with the proper people to get it done, it was effortless. That's how I know it was God, because it was effortless. I from the person who did my business plan, from the person who did and it was like, so I was connected with the person who did my business plan. Well, I mentioned to her I needed my website done. She connected me to a person who could do the website. And then she also connected me to a branding coach. And all of these women were women of the faith. When I tell you so I paid them to do a job, but doing that job, they also were empowering me, you and even giving me more ideas, to expand and everything. So that's how I knew that it was in alignment. And one thing I didn't do, I didn't step ahead of God. I let it, even to where there's so many things added since from the bios that you read. The bio needs to be updated, but it's been all God, just, but again, because I allowed these things to happen organically, I didn't try to step ahead of God. And at the end of the day, I didn't make it about me.
Come on.
I did not make it all about me. And I think that is so important for us to understand that when you're walking in purpose, it's not about you. It's about service. It's a God thing.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's a God thing, and it's about serving others. And so once you take yourself out of that and accept that calling from God, I'm telling you, it's been a beautiful journey. It's been even with the challenges, and I will say I haven't had any major challenges yet. And again, I think it's because I wasn't jumping ahead of God. Now, I will admit, sometimes, you have these ideas and it's like, you get excited, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I'm like, wait a minute, let me go to God. And that's another thing. I go to God on even the most minute things. And it's like, no, let me go to God on this. And then, God will he'll let me know, send me a sign like, nope, you're not ready for this yet. But again, like it grew a leg of its own. And because I committed to remaining in alignment.
I love that. And
yeah,
what I heard you say is that as long as you stay in tune with God, it goes to that script. He's gonna direct your path. He never gonna run us into the ditch. He never gonna run us into like the ground. Like he's gonna direct our path. And your path has been directed. I know you say, you haven't ran into anything yet. You're not gonna run into anything because it has protections around. So nothing, you're not gonna run. You're gonna continue to grow and expand, and it's gonna get bigger and it's gonna get larger, and more people are gonna be impacted because you have not made it about you, but you have made it about what the kingdom is about, is to serve other people and to share your light and to share your story so people can be empowered. And I'm like, man, Lord, thank you for connecting me with Rachelle, because listen, you want to be connected with people who are going somewhere. You want to be connected with people who got something going on. I remember I heard a lady say this one time, and I stick with it. I get around people with my answers, and I stay away from people with my problems.
Ooh, I love that. I love that.
Yeah, I have to get around people who got some answers that I don't have, some things that they can shed some light on, and the stuff that I already know that I bumped my head on and that could trip me up. I'm probably gonna stay away from y'all. So I'm so like really, really thankful. Now, this other part that we'll segue to kind of goes to Blue Velvet, because the motto of Blue Velvet is soft conversations with hard truths, right? Soft conversations. I personally believe that it's not what you say, but it's how you say it to people. I think the time, we kind of talk about timing. Timing is important. When you have a conversation with somebody, you don't want to do it when sometimes y'all in the heat of an argument, you just kind of want to chill out. But I think sometimes when people hear it, not even from the person that may have offended them or they have offended, but being on the outside, listening to other people talk, and it's like, wow, I can see myself in that. A lot of times people tend to receive it better and like, man, I needed that for myself. And I'm pretty sure you've been places and you've spoken and you talked to young people and young women or older women, and someone said, I really needed that, Rachelle. Thank you so much. Right on time. And I believe this is what Blue Velvet is, having conversations where people can say, I really needed that. And not only do they need it, but they take the wisdom, they take the insight, they go to God about it. And those who watch my platform who are not necessarily saved, but you sit with yourself and you make a decision, I'm going to implement this in my life, lives are forever changed. And one thing I love about social media is because like, I would have never met you if it wasn't for social media, right? I would have never met you if it wasn't for in the same group, right? And so there's a power in connecting with people that we don't know. It's a power in being able to connect people that we'll never know until we get to heaven and we have all these crowns, right? That God, because something that we said and something that we did has empowered other people, and that they have changed their lives and went on and impacted other people. So it gets me all stirred up. And so I want to ask you, what is a hard truth that you had to have a soft conversation about in order for it to go well, either with other people and sometimes even with ourselves? Because I know I have to look in the mirror and sit with Simene a lot, like, girl, what is a soft conversation that you've had to have that maybe had some hard truths, or some hard truths with some soft conversations?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I'll have to point at me. It was with the conversation I had to have with myself. Okay. And I'm going to tell you what's interesting, how you say it's not what you say, but how you say it. That's something that I struggled with, that I had to change for myself. Wow. And in order, because I've always been, and I've just thought this way, like, just say it. But again, sometimes it wasn't me, even though in my mind, I'm saying this because I love you. I'm telling you this truth because I love you and I want you to see it, and I want better for you. But I had to realize and take a step back, like, it's how you're saying it. And people would tell me that, but again, I didn't receive it at the time because of the way they were telling it to me. So it was like I got to see it. It was like I was doing it, but then it wasn't until I saw it happening to me when I felt that, the way you say it, when I felt it, when I experienced it, it's like, oh, wow, do I do that? It's like, oh my gosh. And so I had to take a good look at myself and say, okay, we know that what you're coming from, you're coming from a place of genuine, you're coming from a place of love, but are you coming from a place of compassion? And so that's what I had to take a look at myself and say, okay, are you showing compassion? Are you showing empathy? Even so, let's say with the younger generation, with younger women, it's like, okay, you were their age once.
Yes.
It's like, so that's where I had to show the empathy, like, okay, at that age, what was my mindset? It's like, okay, and what did I need, right? What did I need at that age? It's like, okay, let me dial it back. Let me approach this a different way, because again, it's not about being right. It's about being reachable.
Ooh. Oh, I love that. That's definitely gonna be a clip.
Listen, clip it. It's not about being right. It's about being reachable. Does it matter with me telling this person this truth if there's no impact from it? If the person is not receiving it, it's null and void. Like, you just wasted words, you wasted time, you wasted energy. And so I had to really, again, like, take a look at myself and relearn how to communicate. And so, like I said, I'll be transparent and say I'm guilty of that. That was like a major thing that I had to change, especially stepping into this space. Because when I started I kind of said, you know what, hey, I need to turn the mirror on before I can impact somebody else. I got to clean some stuff up. And so I had to go through that. Like, it was like a 2-year process, and I call it a healing journey, because I had to unpack like, why are you so direct? Like, why do you get upset at this, or why? And so I had to, like, forgiveness. I struggled with forgiveness. That's another truth that I had to turn on me, right? I struggled with I sat in unforgiveness for years. And I want to say about 2 years ago, I went through my mentoring. My mentoring coach has a mentoring workbook, and there's a section on forgiveness. And it wasn't until I did the work and wrote this stuff down and looked at it and actually sat in it that I was able to release some things. I held it for years. But I had to do the work, because I'm big on not talking. If you're not walking it, don't talk it. And so I had to do the work myself. So again, it was the hard conversation that I had to have with myself. And in that, I had to show myself grace. Because a lot of times when we go inside, we beat ourselves up.
Yes.
Right? We beat ourselves up. And so I had to learn, okay, before you can show someone else grace, you got to learn how to show yourself some grace. And just accept, like, it's okay that you were that way. You're not there anymore. And so I think that's it. And so when I'm when I'm having that conversation now with someone, if I'm holding someone accountable now, I try to do it with compassion, and I lead with, look, I've been there. Like, it's okay. Like, own it. It's okay. Own it, because you got to acknowledge it in order to deal with it. So let's acknowledge it. And I probably can help you through it, because I did it too. I've been there.
I love
yeah.
Go ahead. What was you about to say?
Yeah. So it was like, once I got to that point, but again, I had to get rid of my junk. I had to unpack some stuff in order for God to fill me and give me, and polish up the tools that He already placed. I feel like we're born with certain tools. God knows where we're going to be 20 years from now, right? He designed it. It's all by His design, and so in order for me to use those tools, I had to unpack the stuff that I put in there on top of what he had. I had to unpack some of that stuff in order to use those tools. So now I can communicate more effectively. And I'm big on compassion now. And again, like I said, it wasn't until it was done to me when I felt it. It's like, man, did I make someone feel that way? Like, did I really, and I had to really like sit with that and process. And here's the thing: a lot of times we don't want to sit with our own stuff. Like we're, people are quick to point out, other people's faults, but when it's time to, go here, it's like, nah, I'm not dealing with that. So yeah, I really had to do the hard work. That was the title of this section of the mentoring workbook. My mentor is Minister Rachelle Fowler. And so she has a mentoring program, Women by Design Mentoring Circle, Woman by Design Mentoring Circle. And so it was the workbook that I did actually do the work that got me to that place of, hey, you can be honest and you can be real without being harsh, without adding the hardness to it. You can tell this person the truth, right? And here's the thing though, not be so eager to hold this person accountable or tell this person the truth about them. Eager to do that, but also be eager to support them in that, to stay with them, to sit with them in that, when they acknowledge it, to hey, be that comfort for them, to hey, talk them through this, be that listening ear, be that heart, and not always wanting to be the fixer. Not because sometimes a lot of people listen, they want to know your problem so they can fix it, so they can tell you what you need to do.
Yeah,
it's like sometimes just listen. Sometimes just listen. And what I found in that is they help me. It's like, wow, yeah, but that's it. Again, like I said, it was me having that conversation with myself, that soft conversation. And again, learning to show myself some grace in order to be able to show others grace when I'm, having that truth conversation with them.
Yeah. I knew, because it's always been my experience that whenever God connects me with somebody else, that as they're sharing their story, it's doing something to my heart. So you're sharing all these, I feel like I want to cry, right? But it's like God is he's so faithful. He knows how to, I feel like he uses people to have soft conversations with us, that we've been ignoring the conversation that he's been trying to say to us for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And so you don't even know how you being a conduit for me now.
Wow.
To go back and do some introspective things for Simene.
Oh, wow.
Like,
it's all God.
And that's how cool, it's like, I have no idea what we would say to each other.
Yeah.
He knew the timing and he knew the alignment. Let me send this lady that she does not know.
Yeah.
And not just for me, but I know it's going to be for other people. For those of you that's watching, but it's like, I'm going to send this lady that she does not know to share something with her, so then she can come back to me and now have this conversation I've been wanting to have with her.
Wow.
So I am so blessed in so many ways of what you said. And when you kept talking about, I was looking at Jude, because I was looking for a scripture when it says, even when your heart condemns you, God is greater than your heart. But what kind of going through when you was talking about that compassion. And this is what it says in Jude 1. It says, but ye beloved, building yourself. This is verse 20. I'm down to verse 20. But love, building yourselves on your most holy faith, keeping yourselves in the love of God, looking for the mercy of our Lord Jesus Christ unto eternal life. And of some have compassion, making a difference. Your compassion for how you want to say things and making sure that even the people that's watching this tonight, that with your compassion, it convicted me.
Wow.
With your compassion, it's making a difference in my life and other people's lives.
Yeah.
And then it goes on to say 23, and others saved with fear, pulling them out of the fire, hating even the garment spotted by the flesh. It Friday at work, I seen this. Thursday at work, I went outside. I wasn't supposed to be outside because that's not where I was needed at the time, but someone needed something. And so I went out there to a trailer. They call it like modular trailers outside to a classroom. Yeah. And on my way outside, I seen this black crow. And when I seen the crow was kind of like talking, you know, how birds chirp or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, so God, is this a sign to me? About 15 years ago, Rachelle, my aunt, one of my aunts, she was my youngest aunt. She was 45 at the time. She was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she ended up passing away. In July of that year, I went home. Everybody was, you know, kind of taking turns to take her to the hospital, watch her. So I was like, I'm going to go home. I'm going to do my part. And I remember I got home in July, and I remember I was laying on my bed in my mom's house, and this black crow I see like in a vision, like I was asleep, but it was like a dream. Like it was a black crow over, I think it was the right eye. And I woke up and I asked God, like, well, what is this? And he says, your aunt has unforgiveness, and I need you to go tell her she got to forgive people.
Oh, wow.
And mind you, I was probably 28, 29 at the time. Yeah. I was just really getting saved. Like, okay, Lord.
Right.
And so I was like, I don't think I could do that. And Rachelle, this was July. My aunt died at the end of October, and I never said anything to her. And I tell my family the story all the time, especially like, hey, you gotta forgive, gotta forgive. I remember the night, the last night I said where she was now on morphine and she couldn't no longer speak. It was just kind of like she was on hospice. Like it was a day's kind of just watching and waiting, right? Yeah. And so I remember one night I was in the room, it was Friday night, I was in the room where I was trying to do my schoolwork. I was in grad school at the time, and I remember my teacher said, you can't miss no more days. Like, if you miss more days, we're going to drop you from the class. And I'm like, hey, my aunt is sick. Like, she's really sick. So we're all there. And she's like, you just can't miss no more days. And I was like, okay, so I'm up studying. And I remember by the time my aunt was like in a comatose state, she wasn't responding. You know, she was having liquid morphine. She woke up out of her sleep and she was like, it's a fire. It's a fire. And I was like, it's not a fire. And she's like, it's a fire. Get me up. It's a fire. And I'm like, it's not a fire. She said, give me. By the time she was not walking anymore, she pulled herself on that hospital bed rail and was like, it's a fire. I got to get out of here. She started pulling herself out the bed. So I got up with her and I, stood her up and I opened the door. And she says, we got to go. It's a fire. It's a fire. So we walked to the living room, and in the living room was like another room, like another sitting room. And we went and sat down. And she goes, whew. And I was like, are you okay? She's like, yeah, the fire is gone now. I said, okay. So we sat there maybe 5-10 minutes. Then she says, I'm ready to go back to bed. So I take her to go back to bed. She lay down. My aunt goes back into that comatose state. And I'm like, that's
wow.
I had to go back to school that Monday. My other aunt from Georgia then came. Like we was kind of taking shifts. And she said, I woke up that night and just started screaming and saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. She was calling out so many people's names saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Wow.
And that was Monday, and that Wednesday, my mom said that all her and her siblings had went, everybody came home at this time, and they went into the room with her. It's like it was wiping out her mouth with gauze. And my mom said she sat up and she waved goodbye to them. And then she passed out.
Wow.
And when my aunt my aunt didn't tell me that like right away about what she about sorry, but it was like months later we was just talking. And she was like, yeah, I remember that night Sharon got up and she was just saying sorry to everybody. And God took me back to that vision he gave me where I want you to tell your aunt that she had to forgive people. And I felt like for a long time, I felt like had I told her that prior, I extended more. And so whenever, somebody gets sick, especially when I would say, hey, make sure you forgiving people, make sure you clean your heart out because you don't want stuff to turn inward that you could be letting go. And when you said about that unforgiveness, it's like sometimes sometimes I don't think people understand how easy it is to hold on to that.
Yeah.
But when we think about how merciful and how gracious and how much God has forgiven us, it's like, I hurt me and I'm mad and I'm upset right now. But when I think about the things that I've done that people don't even know,
Yeah.
and things that you have yet still forgiven me for, Father,
Yeah.
help me to forgive them. Because in my flesh, I don't want to forgive them, but
Yeah.
help me to forgive them because
Yeah.
I don't want it to turn inwardly. So when I say you coming on, sharing that, it was so much bigger than what you probably would ever know. Like, it is really touched me in a deep place for me to go
Yeah.
back and search my heart and say, clean up your stuff, Simene. Get yourself together. Because again, like you said, like, I can't walk people and help people through stuff that, you know what I'm saying, I'm still struggling with or that now I'm dealing with. It's like,
Yeah.
we got to do this. So thank you so much for just being honest and transparent about that. Because, you know, again, sometimes we don't want to turn the mirror on ourselves. We want to turn
Yeah.
it looking good. But when it's
Yeah.
bad, it's like, hey,
Yeah.
look there.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you that like I said, that was my biggest thing. And if I wouldn't preach, I wouldn't tell anybody about forgiving anybody because I knew I wasn't. So that was the one thing in the Bible I wasn't speaking on.
Yeah.
It's like I refuse to, because then I'm gonna have to acknowledge it, right?
Yep.
And so when I finally decided to acknowledge it, and here's the thing, carrying it was so heavy, and you don't know until you release it.
Come on.
It was when I released it that when I tell you, I felt like a physical load had been just lifted. Like I felt, and the only way I can explain it is free. Somebody asked me that one time. I'm like, it's just free. It was just freeing. That's the only way I can explain it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until then that now I can tell somebody about, forgive someone, but I can tell them because I can share. I know where they are. You know what I mean? I can have that empathy and share, like, hey, look, I was here. And I've shared like specific examples. Like there are certain people that I've had that hard conversation with where I shared specific examples, told them who it was I wasn't gonna forgive. And so that's the thing to be, willing to be, because I feel like when God changes you, you're not supposed to keep it to yourself.
Come on.
The purpose, again, the whole purpose to my pain of it is to share and change the lives of someone else. So that's why I'm always transparent about my journey in that unforgiveness. But like I said, I think that is so important because there's so much going on today, and there's so many people at odds, and you know what I mean? It's and the Bible speaks of these times, right? And so I think it's important to practice forgiveness. I just think that is so important. I'm gonna tell you, years ago, I never thought I would say that.
Yeah.
Because I was so stubborn and stuck in that, like, no, they did this to me, and that is not okay. And I am never talking to them again. And I'm not and then it was so, like, at one point I remember telling myself, you did forgive. Like you're not, like you're not, you didn't lash out at them again. You didn't. But here's what was happening. Me carrying that unforgiveness, I was lashing out at other people that it had nothing. You know what I mean? So your mind will tell you, oh no, I did forgive them because I'm past it. It's like, no, you're not, because you just lashed out at somebody else.
That's good. And you know how have you ever heard people talk about how, like say if shred work or business or whatever is stressing, people closest to you get the brunt of that, and they're not the people who did that. And so, oh gosh, that really makes me think, like, who have I been pushing stuff off on that it's not even their stuff? They did not do that to me. They do not deserve that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This has been, like, I'm telling you, this is a game changer for me. So I want to say thank you personally for what you have shared.
God bless you.
Today.
It's all God.
And thank you, Lord. And for the people that's gonna come and say you help them and you bless them. I am so grateful and I'm so honored today. And so if there is And well, let me first say this. If you Blue Velvet, any platform that I'm doing, anything I'm doing, you are always welcome to come back. So that may be a part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You may see me and Rachelle doing a lot of other things together.
I would love it.
You are welcome to come back here anytime. And so for the sake of this episode, everybody, because I believe you go see her again. We go see us together again doing some other virtual things, and as the Lord will, some in-person things too.
Yes.
For this episode now, if there was, and you said some powerful things already, like, oh gosh, but if there was any other one thing you could share to a young woman to speak on empowerment, or even to the few great men that watch this, what would be that one thing that you would want to say to them, or want them to take away from watching this episode tonight?
I just want to encourage someone today that it is okay to not be okay.
Oh, God.
Just don't stay there.
Okay.
It's okay to not be okay. Don't beat yourself up about not being okay. It's okay. It's gonna pass. There's a tomorrow coming, right? So it's okay to not be okay. Process it, feel it. Don't run from the process. Process it, feel it, and heal it. That's the one thing that I can give to someone today. And I know someone watching needs that word. But that's the one thing I can say, that it's okay to not be okay. Just don't stay there. Process it, feel it, and heal it.
I love this. So I had to type that up. It's okay to not be okay, but just don't stay there. And this is Miss Rachelle Sawyer-Cobb. And so this has definitely been a blessing to me. Miss Rachelle, tell people how they can connect with you, what you have coming up next, how they can get your apparel, how they can get logged in with you, how they can tune into your I Can Do podcast, all the great things you got. Let everybody know how they can stay in contact with you now.
Well, first, you can visit our website, www.icando.biz, ICANDO.biz. You can visit our website and subscribe. I do a monthly newsletter sharing all the amazing things that we have going on through the year, throughout the month. You can follow us on Instagram at icando.biz. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel at icando.biz, where we have 2 podcasts. The Women Can Do Show, which is one that I host. We air live on YouTube and Facebook Live every Wednesday at 6:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We also have another podcast, which is Bridging the Gap podcast. That's hosted by my wonderful, and I'm on there as one of the co-hosts with him. That one we aired maybe 2 of those a month on Saturdays. We have one this upcoming Saturday. So if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you'll get all of that. Follow our social media is iCanDo.org. And so follow us on all of those platforms for daily inspiration. I do daily inspirational posts. I do clips. I go live. Sometimes I do my daily walk. I go live on my daily walk just to empower and encourage someone as God gives it to me in the morning. So those are we have our annual conference coming up in August. The date is set for August 8th, our annual Women Empowerment Conference. And just so you know, that conference 100% benefits our I Can Do Scholarship Fund. We have a nonprofit, the I Can Do Foundation, that's under our I Can Do umbrella. And so we give scholarships to girls graduating from high school that are going to college. We have 2 scholarships, our college scholarship and our entrepreneur scholarship, for the young girl who's probably not going to start right out in college and, going to wait and start her entrepreneurial journey. So we have those 2 scholarships. And our annual Women Empowerment Conference. That's our big event of the year. We do have something new this year. We're doing an actual podcast tour. We're in season 3 of the Women Can Do Show. We are in season 1 of our Bridging the Gap podcast. And so we are taking those 2 podcasts on tour. We may be coming to a city near you, but we're starting in LA. So again, go to our website, www.icando.biz, and subscribe so you can get our newsletter, because the actual tour dates for those podcast will be coming up in our upcoming newsletters.
This is so exciting. And you know what I kept hearing? Alignment and brand. How you talk about alignment and brand. You do it like you do it well. So guys, I don't know if you help other people with their branding, but reach out to Rachelle if you need some help. Because clearly she is aligned and she is branded down what I can do that biz. I love that so much. Again, I want to say thank you so much for doing this podcast with me today. I am forever grateful. I'm so excited and see how God is connecting us. What is the exact date? Because I put it in my phone. You said, August 8th in Los
Saturday,
Angeles.
August 8th. Yep. And I haven't finalized the location, but that date is set Saturday, August 8th.
All right. Well,
it's our 6th annual. We're 5 years. I Can Do is 5 years old. I launched it on August 1st, 2020 on my birthday. So every year for my birthday, that the conference we have it that, and so we'll be 6 years old in August.
That is amazing. You know, the average annual conference is usually only 5 years. So you have
really,
yep, you have definitely
wow.
Yep, you have definitely surpassed. Congratulations! I've definitely put it in my phone.
Thank you.
If God aligns of where I can be there in person, I'm definitely want to come.
Yeah, I would love
to do anything but to support and to get poured into myself. Not because sometimes people want to connect because they want to do something. That's
right,
not.
Yeah,
I want to come because I want to be poured into. If I'm getting
I
this
would love that.
on the podcast,
I would love that.
Imagine what I would get in person. So
yeah,
I'm excited about. So again, thank you so much for coming on with me doing this. For those of you who are watching, go and follow Rachelle, comment, share this out, text this out to a couple people, let them know that you have heard an amazing women empowerment, and of branding today, talking about all the things that God has done and why it's so important to forgive and it's so important to be in God's will to do the things that He's called you to do. And so I'm forever blessed again. Thank you so much, Ms. Rachelle. This will wrap up episode number 3 for us on Blue Velvet Podcast. So you guys have an amazing night and we will see you guys soon. Bye.